What do you mean I can't get a cleaning on the first visit? Have you ever had a patient say that, whether it was when they were calling to make an appointment, or maybe it was after their initial exam and they had some perio disease and you couldn't do a cleaning on the first visit? So that is something that we're going to be talking about today on the Dental Practice Fixers podcast. Welcome back to the Fixers. I'm Dr. Richard Madow. Yes, I'm co-founder, along with my brother Dave, of the Madow Center for Dental Practice Success. And thanks for joining me again today. I just got back from Florida, where I was the keynote speaker and did a couple of breakout sessions at the Florida Dental Association meeting. And that's where today's question comes from. So I'll tell you about that in a second. But first, I want to remind you that one of the ways we keep our overhead low at the Madow Center. Who doesn't like low overhead, right? But one of the ways we keep our overhead low is by having Stacks by Fat Merchant process all of our credit card charges. And you should too in your dental practice, because they do not charge an overage percentage, just a low monthly fee. How low? Well, I think that depends on a few factors. So contact Stacks and find out. You can find out more by going to madow.com/save. That's madow.com/SAVE. And they'll ask you a few questions and even determine if Stacks is right for your practice. If it's not, they'll tell you, hey, it's not going to work out. That's probably not going to happen though, because just about every time Stacks can save you money, and they'll do the first month of processing for just $5. So go to madow.com/save. All right, well, I was recently at the Florida Dental Conference put on by the Florida Dental Association. It was a ton of fun, and it was so great to be back at live meetings. So I just want to remind you that if you have any influence in your local meetings, whether it's a large association meeting, a small local association, even a study club, I'd love to come and speak for you. So just send me an email, Rich, R-I-C-H, at Madow, MADOW.com, and we can talk about how to make it happen. There are lots of great fun things we can do for your meeting. So I'd love to be there. Let me know. So anyway, at one of the breakout sessions, there were a ton of great questions. And one of the questions, and I'm paraphrasing here because I didn't write it down and record it, obviously, but it was something like, should we do cleanings on the first visit? It was a partnership, and one dentist felt very strongly that the first visit, that's exam only, comprehensive exam, radiographs, TMJ exam, the whole gamut. And the other dentist said, well, I think for our patients who don't have perio disease, we should offer cleanings on the first visit. And they were really butting heads on it. And it's an interesting question for me, especially historically with the Madow Center. The very first article that we had published in Dental Economics was about the same very issue. Should you do cleanings on the first visit? And the article was published under the name of Dr. David Richards. That's a whole different story. Maybe we'll get to that in a future episode of the Dental Practice Fixers podcast. But anyway, this article that I wrote and that Dave wrote, we co-wrote this article, was pretty much saying that as much as patients want cleanings on the first visit, it's unethical to offer any kind of treatment. And let's face it, a dental prophy is treatment. And it's how can we offer any kind of treatment until we've done the full exam? So the proper and ethical protocol is no cleanings on the first visit, exam only. And we went on to argue that not only is this ethical, but it's actually good for your practice and will increase your revenues because you'll have more perio treatment, kind of patients who are more in need of comprehensive dentistry will be attracted to your practice, and on and on and on and on and on. The crazy thing is, a couple of years later, I went on to retract that statement completely because, along with being a dental writer, seminar speaker, consultant, coach, etc., I also owned a practice. So I had to put my money where my mouth was. And I found that this just wasn't working in my practice. I found that if it worked great, but we were losing patients left and right because they wanted a cleaning on the first visit. So I kind of retracted that entire policy. I hate the word policy, but I kind of retracted that entire policy and said that we need to offer cleanings on the first visit, that new patients come in through the hygiene department, which, we had to be a little more creative with our scheduling, because I don't know if it's the same in your office, but in my office, hygiene time was much tougher to come by than my time. I had 3 full-time hygienists, and I was a full-time dentist, and then we had an associate, maybe 2 associates, but our hygienists were super, super busy. So we actually had to block out new patient time on the schedule. I know this is something I've talked about before, so I won't go into great detail, but a new patient needs to be brought in right away. I mean, right away. They cannot be made to wait, or they will leave, they will flake, they will go elsewhere, they'll disappear, they'll drop off the face of the earth. It's just our reality. So we had to block new patient time on the hygiene schedule to get these new patients in. And a new patient would get an hour of time on the hygiene schedule, and they would get a cleaning, unless they didn't get a cleaning. Now, obviously, if we examined somebody and they had perio disease, advanced perio disease or moderate perio, whatever you want to say, we couldn't do a prophy on the first visit. But we could certainly, we had time to explain what was going on. And many times we had time for a debridement, whatever you want to call it, just kind of a ultrasonic scaling to remove all the gross stuff that was clinging to their teeth, so we could at least do an accurate perio probing and an accurate exam. And again, way too much to go into in this podcast, but we had all the verbiage down, how we would explain it to the patient. Yes, we'd love to do a cleaning, but because of this, that, and the other, and of course we used the talk over technique during the exam, so they fully understood what was going on and understood why they couldn't get a typical cleaning at the first visit. But again, we did try to do something if we could, and many times that was kind of an ultrasonic cleaning, and we let them know that the only way we could really do an accurate exam is if all this gunk and goober is removed from their teeth and their gums. So it worked out really well, because that way we did attract a comprehensive patient, but we also attracted the garden variety patient. And those garden variety patients, we need those patients. We love those patients. It's pretty unrealistic for most dental practices to have a truly comprehensive practice where everybody needs all this treatment. Look, even someone as great as Frank Spear will admit that in his practice, he has normal patients. He has young adult patients who are just constantly in maintenance phase. All they need are prophies. He has healthy adult patients who only need prophies. Of course, the comprehensive patients are great. They're fun. It's fantastic to see them make progress in their dental health. And of course, the revenue is good, but we need normal patients, and we have normal patients in our practice. So I found that not doing a prophy on the first visit, not offering a prophy on the first visit, even though it's not ideal, that was the best way for us to get new patients. That was the best way for us to grow our practice. And if a patient needed periotherapy, then we dealt with it. And because we were so good at doing the exam with a talk over technique, and my hygienists were just incredible at explaining periodontal disease to our patients and how they got there, they were not upset that they couldn't get a cleaning on a first visit. At that point, their level of understanding was so high that they didn't even want a cleaning at the first visit. They wanted to take care of their perio disease. So maybe we'll do a future episode on this, but I'm telling you, it can be done. It can be done successfully. But if you're one of those practices that says we don't do cleanings on the first visit because we need to do a full diagnosis and then have the patient come back for a consultation, well, maybe you can get away with it, but I found that many times that inhibits the growth of your practice. So along the same lines, that was the question I asked on our secret shopper calls, our mystery shopper calls, whatever you want to call them. I was a new patient. I had called an office and I was told that I couldn't get a cleaning at the first visit. And I want to know if your practice does cleanings on the first visit. So let me just grab my notepad. I actually take notes while I'm replaying these calls so I can discuss them. And I'm going to go over here to Command Central. We did 3 calls today. Again, as I always promise you, because I know some people don't believe it, I did 3 calls in a row. I didn't do 6 calls in cherry pick or anything like that, just 3 calls. Same question, boom, boom, boom. Let's find out how these offices did. Okay, here's call number 1.
This is Lily. How may I help you?
Hi, I've got a question for you. I'm trying to find a dentist to make an appointment for a cleaning, and I called another dentist and they said I couldn't get a cleaning on the first visit. I had to go and get an exam and then a consultation and some other stuff. Is that the way you do it at your office?
If you're a new patient, we do a new patient exam, x-rays, and if you just need a regular cleaning, then that's what we do. Yep.
All in the same time?
Yes.
Okay, good. That's what I was looking for. Well, thank you so much for that.
You're welcome. No problem.
Okay, bye. Okay, friendly. She didn't go into way too much detail, which I liked. Now, some people might say, well, she should have explained that if the patient has periodontal disease, they can't do a cleaning at the first visit. I don't know. I think, you don't want to be deceitful. You want to be ethical, but you also need to get the patient in. And I think it's absolutely fine to get the patient in. And then if the exam uncovers some periodontal disease, to tackle it then. I think what's not good is to have periodontal disease uncovered at the exam and then just do a regular prophy and act like everything's fine. That's obviously really bad. But I think she handled it pretty well. Again, she was friendly, didn't go into much detail, didn't get clinical. We'll find out what I'm talking about more in the next couple calls. Didn't get overly clinical, didn't get clinical at all. But wow, didn't even attempt to ask for the appointment. I mean, I told her that I want to find a dentist that does the cleaning on the first visit. She didn't even attempt to go for the appointment or get any contact information or anything like that. So complete lost opportunity. Let's see if the same thing happens in call number 2. Hey, before we move on to call number 2, everybody listening to this probably knows at the Madow Center, we do coaching for dental practices all across North America. It's so much fun to help dental practices and see them grow. And all of our clients just get amazing results and they enjoy dentistry more. They increase their revenues. It's the biggest win-win. So if you're even the least bit interested, a good place to start would be to do our dental practice snapshot, where we do a data analysis of your practice to see how you stand, where are you, because unless you know the numbers, how can you do any planning? So we do all the dirty work for you. We analyze the numbers, we'll review it with you. We'll let you know if we think you're a good fit for us to work together. Maybe we won't think it's a good fit, or maybe you wouldn't benefit from coaching. You're already doing so many things right, but chances are your practice would really benefit from coaching. You'd increase your revenues, enjoy dentistry more. So first step, just go to madow.com/snapshot. And with about 2 or 3 minutes of your time, or more likely the time of the person who's at the front desk that knows your software best, we can get our data analysis going. We'll schedule a phone call. We'll review the results. No cost, no obligation, just a really eye-opening thing to really learn what your numbers mean. So just go to madow.com/snapshot and we'll get it taken care of. Again, no obligation, just some really interesting things you can learn about your practice. Okay, let's go to our second call today. Same question. Will we get the same answer?
Speaking, may I help you?
Yeah, I've got a question for you. I'm trying to find a new dentist. I definitely need a teeth cleaning. And I called another office in the area and they said they couldn't do a cleaning on the first appointment. They had to do like some compre
An exam or something like that, yeah.
Right, something like that, and x-rays, and then they couldn't do a cleaning yet because I had to come back in to review everything. Is that the way is that like typical, or if I came to your office, could I get a cleaning on the first visit?
No, you can roughly get a cleaning unless you have a perio problem. And at that time, that's when they take numbers and then do the x-rays. But then they usually would try to schedule you for a cleaning, we do the whole thing.
Okay, so unless I have some kind of perio problem, I'm not even sure what that is, but
that will be the only time that because your insurance doesn't, and even then we will do something like on the surface, but we'll not go deep enough because otherwise you'll be in pain because sometimes you have to be numb.
Oh wow, sounds horrible.
But otherwise, we always schedule just for a cleaning and check up with x-rays. That's it. Mm-hmm.
Got it. Okay, I think I understand that. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, sir.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh man, congratulations. You just scared the wits out of a potential new patient. She started off okay. Then very quickly she drifted into dental terminology. Like if you have perio disease, we have to take numbers. They look at a bakery. Next, number 14. We have to take numbers and do x-rays like you weren't going to do x-rays before. I didn't get the whole thing. Then she brings up insurance. I didn't have any questions about insurance. She knows nothing about my insurance, but she starts insinuating that the reason that we do it this way is because of insurance. Ooh, I can't stand that. Then she starts saying, well, even if you do have this mysterious perio disease, we'll do something on the surface, but if we do more than that, it'll cause pain and we have to make you numb. Yikes! No way. I'm scared. I don't know. I just called to ask if I can get a cleaning. All of a sudden, I'm in pain. I'm getting numb. They're only doing things on the surface. They're taking numbers. I don't know what the heck she's talking about. And then, of course, no interest in getting the appointment. Remember, these 3 calls, I'm about to play the third. I'm a new patient who wants a cleaning, and no attempt so far to even insinuate that maybe you should come in and get your cleaning, or would you like to make an appointment? Nothing. Okay. Whew, this is exhausting. Let's play the third call. Maybe they'll ask for the appointment. Please, come on. Ask if I want to make an appointment. Or better yet, give me 2 good times. We'd love to see you as a new patient. We can see you tomorrow at 11 a.m. If that's not convenient, how's Thursday at 3 p.m.? Come on now. Okay, let's do it.
How may I help you?
Hi, are you seeing new patients in your office?
Yes, sir, we are.
Okay, so here's my question for you. I'm trying to get a cleaning, just a regular cleaning, and I called another office in the area, and they said that they couldn't do a cleaning on the first visit. First, they had to do like an examination and all this mishigas, and then come back for a consultation. Is that the way that it's done in dental offices these days, or is it possible to get a cleaning on the first visit?
So our first visit, the way we do a cleaning, depending on, well, it depends on the state of your gums. If you have really bad deep pocketing, then no, we would not, just because ethically we are a comprehensive office. But if it is, your gums are relatively healthy, enough to do a general prophy, which is a normal cleaning. So what it would be the new patient exam and cleaning. It's a 2-hour appointment. You would come in for a comprehensive exam, x-rays, perio probing, and the cleaning.
Wow. Okay, you said comprehensive office. What does that mean?
So like I said, the first appointment is 2 hours. So it's us getting to know you, you getting to know us. We take a look at all of your teeth. We look at everything that's been done, everything that would need to be done, and let you know everything, as well as going over, because like I said, we are comprehensive. So we not only deal with tooth issues, but we deal with jaw issues, we deal with throat issues, we deal with sleep issues.
Wow. Okay. I got you. Mm-hmm. Well, hey, thanks so much. That was very informative. I appreciate it.
Of course.
Okay. Bye now.
Mm-hmm. Bye-bye.
Okay. She was super nice. And I got to say, she did a pretty decent job of explaining what a comprehensive dental exam was. She said, we get to know you, you get to know us. I like that. That was very friendly. We take a look at everything, all of your teeth, what has been done in the past, what we will recommend in the future, your jaw, maybe even sleep issues. Well, I was impressed. She did a good, what I would call a layman's description of what a comprehensive office does. That was towards the end, but towards the beginning, she used a lot of terms that I would call lingo, dental lingo: bad deep pocketing, comprehensive office, general prophy, perio probing. I didn't know what she was talking about half the time if I'm a lay person. So I think she kind of made her bed and then realized that she couldn't lie in this bed of confusing the patient. So she started to simplify it, dumb it down a little bit. I don't mean dumb it down in a bad way. I mean in a good way. I think towards the end, she actually did a decent job of explaining a comprehensive office. But again, went way too deep, no pun intended, in the beginning. And then, of course, the very, very, very worst part of it all, did not even come close to offering the appointment. I'm just like completely puzzled. I'm SMH, as they would say, shaking my head. 3 calls right in a row, begging for an appointment practically. I'm a new patient. I want to get my cleaning the first visit. Do you do that? And nobody even made an attempt to let me in. And they were all very nice. Please don't make that mistake in your office. You won't, because you are listening to the Dental Practice Fixers podcast. So please, let's learn from these. And we are going to call it an episode right now. I'll be back soon. But for now, thanks so much for listening. I'm Dr. Richard Madow. If you want to learn more about what's going on at the Madow Center, all the ways that we help dental practices, please give us a visit. www.madow.com, MADOW.com. In the meantime, if you want to leave us a good review, feel free to do so. Tell your friends about the Fixers, whatever you like to do. I'd be forever grateful. This is Dr. Rich, and I'll see you soon. Bye.